afternoon. Thank you for joining today. So today we're going to do a 1 hour class that's an after work yoga flow. So we're going to try to get the body active and stretch out the body, and at the same time really relax and release after a day at work. Get rid of all the tensions that build up during the day and really find a relaxed state of mind. So it's going to be a beginner intermediate class. So if you're more of a beginner, you can always take a little cushion that you can use to prop onto, to sit up onto, and for other postures. Otherwise, you won't need anything else but yourself and your mat. So we're going to start sitting down. Go ahead and cross your legs. Find a nice and comfortable position for you to settle down. Now we're going to close your eyes and bring your hands down on your knees and sit up nice and straight. Imagine someone was pulling from a hair on top of your head, and you reach up the crown of the head towards the sky. Bring your shoulders back and down. And we're going to start breathing, bringing fresh air into our lungs and our stomach, always through the nose. So we're going to inhale, take a deep inhale, counting 1, 2, 3, and really fill your abdomen up with air. Don't force the abdomen to blow up with air, just let the air flow in. And exhale, 1, 2, 3. And we're going to keep on taking some nice breaths here like this. And just take a moment to feel how you are at this moment and what you're bringing to the mat today. So don't bring any judgment on that. Just see how you're feeling at this moment and reconnect with your breath. This is what happens a lot during the day, that we forget to breathe. We're just so taken by whatever we're doing, and we're really not breathing through the abdomen. So this is the time to reconnect with your breath and really reconnect with yourself and your sensations. Inhale nice and deep, 1, 2, 3. And exhale, 1, 2, 3. So if there's any thoughts that come, just let them go as they came. And remind yourself that you're just sitting and breathing. That's the only thing you're doing right now. So always before we start moving, just find presence. Nice and slow. Wonderful. And on the next inhale, you're going to slowly blink your eyes open. And we're going to come to standing. So come to the front of your mat. And we're just going to stand in Tadasana, so mountain pose for an instant here. Bring your feet together and legs together. And your arms are down by your sides. Open up your fingers nice and wide like sunshines. And close your eyes and just try to feel how your balance is. So if you're tilting more from one side to the other, and try to find this alignment of having your ears over your shoulders over your hips, and your hips over your ankles. So the weight should be nice and distributed over your feet, front and back, and to the sides. And pelvis should find this neutral point, like if it was a bowl of water and the water is just settling in the middle calmly, not tilting to one side or the other. And open up your eyes again, and from here, you're going to inhale and bring your arms up towards the ceiling and extend and come to the tips of your feet, so the ball of your feet, so extend up towards the sky. Really reach up. So your core here is maintaining your back in a very nice and extended posture. So you're finding length as much as possible. Find a point of focus in front of you and really reach up, like if you're trying to touch the ceiling. Unstacking the vertebra. So the thighs are working hard here, keep you maintained. Don't forget to breathe here, even if you're not moving. Inhale one more time. Exhale, keep your hands up towards the ceiling, but your heels come down to the ground slowly. And you're gonna let your hands come down. Still the arms are straight, slowly in front of you. And you can slowly feel the blood coming back down to your fingers. Just take the instant to feel that. Wonderful. Then we're going to come into a forward bend, Uttanasana. So slightly opens your feet a little bit wider to hips distance. Interlace your hands behind your back. Inhale, bring your hands down towards the floor. Open your chest. And exhale, fold forward, keeping your legs bent. So you're trying to bring your stomach to your legs, touching your legs. And once you're down there, release your head completely. Release that neck. Your hands are coming up and overhead. Relax your shoulders. Nicely distribute that weight on your feet. And try to send your sitting bones up towards the sky. So really hinging from the hips. Allowing the spine to really elongate. And breathe here. So don't focus on straightening your legs for now. Focus on having a healthy shape in your spine. Release your hands down to the ground. And take your elbows in between your hands and just balance a little bit from right to left here. Swing from side to side. Come back to center, release your hands to the ground and roll up, back to standing. Slowly straightening your legs and your head comes last. And let the blood flow back down to your feet. Bring your feet back together and we're going to take a few sun salutations just to wake up the body a little bit more, especially if we've been sitting down the whole day. Bring your feet together. Inhale, exhale, and bring your hands in prayer. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky and look up. Exhale, forward fold. Still, legs can be slightly bent. Bring your hands to the floor. Inhale, bring your right foot to the back of the mat and the knee comes to the ground. Look out in front of you. Holds make a plank. So bring your shoulders over your hands. Press into your hands. Your back is nice and straight. And exhale. Bring your knee, chest, and chin to the ground with your hips off the ground. Inhale into cobra. So open your chest, bring your shoulders nice and down, far away from the ears, and look up. Opening up the heart here. Exhale, downward facing dog. So bring your hips up towards the sky. Press nicely into your hands and your feet as you send your hips up to the sky. And if you're really tight in your hamstrings, don't hesitate to bend those legs a little bit. That's perfectly fine. Just have that movement of pushing your hips up towards the sky and having your shoulders away from your ears. So if it's the first downward facing dog that you're doing today, don't hesitate to really sigh it out. So inhale and really release. So imagine all that tension is coming out of that exhale. Inhale, bring your right foot in front, in between your hands and your knee, other knees down to the ground. Exhale, bring the other foot to the front. And inhale, come all the way back up. Extend those arms up to the sky and release. So I was a bit slower for the first one. We can go a little bit faster now. Inhale, exhale your hands in prayer. Inhale, reach up, bend your knees a little bit to look back. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, your left foot to the back of the mat with the knee on the ground. Plank, hold here, so push into your hands. Exhale, down to the mat. Keep your elbows nice and stuck to your sides. As you come into cobra, open that chest. Try to slide your hands towards you. Exhale into downward facing dog. Inhale, bring your left foot to the front of the mat. And then exhale, bring the other foot to the front. Inhale, roll all the way up to the sky. Exhale, release. And we're going to do that a couple more times on each side. Inhale, exhale, hands in prayer. Inhale, up to the sky. Exhale, release. So feel free to go at your own rhythm. This is the rhythm I'm taking. That doesn't mean that it's yours. Listen to your body and obviously to your breath, where it's taking you. Always remembering to breathe. Exhale as you come into downward facing dog. Inhale, the right foot to the front of the mat. Look out in front of you. Open that chest. Exhale, the other foot. Roll up. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, release. And one last time on the left side. Feel your body nice and warm. Inhale, exhale, hands in prayer. Inhale, reach up, slightly look back, a little bit of a back bend here. Exhale, forward fold. Release your neck always when you're in that forward fold. Exhale all the way down to the mat. Inhale, cobra, open that chest. Glutes are tight when you're in that cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, bring the left foot to the front of the mat. Exhale, the other foot. Then inhale, roll all the way back up. And release. Give yourself a second here if you feel that your heart is beating faster. Just stand here and breathe deeply. Wonderful. The goal here is not to lose your breath or to have your heart rate really high up. Inhale, we're going to come into a lunge. So with the inhale, bring your right foot to the back of the mat and lower your knee to the ground into a nice low lunge. So you have several options here. Feel free to put something under your knee if your knees are a bit sore, or if you have very pointy bones and it's too much on your knee. So really release those hips down to the ground, down and front, but don't collapse your stomach. So your abdomen here is working to keep your spine straight. So we're opening up the hip opening here, lower back. So we release those tensions that tend to pile up in the hips. Wonderful. Now we're going to reach our left hand down to the ground. Now, if that's too far for you, feel free to prop your hand up on something. It doesn't have to be flat on the ground. You can just be on your fingers. And reach the left arm up and over and wrap it around your head. And look under your armpit. So you're going to feel a really nice stretch on your left side. Your whole left side is going to get nice and opened up. And breathe here as you let your hips fall down towards the ground. So don't bring any judgment to wherever you are. Don't fixate on any results. You make progress every single time that you try. And come back to center. Inhale. And you're going to reach your hands down to the ground and bring your left knee to the ground. And we're going to come into a side plank. So there's several variations. So if you're more of a beginner, you can leave that knee on the ground. Bring your left hand to the ground and open up to the side and reach up with your right hand up towards the ceiling. So this is already a good start for a plank. So try to keep your core nice and tight so you're stable. You can go a little bit further here and bring both feet out to the side. So stack your feet, stack your hips, work on that core so you're standing straight. Your shoulder is over your hand here so that you're not hurting your elbow and your shoulders. You can look up to your hand for balance. Hold here. Wonderful. And come back into a plank. Bring your other hand down to the ground. And we're going to come into pigeon. So go ahead and bring your left leg out in front of you. Bend it. And bring your heel in at the level of your groin. So if you bring your foot out to the side further, you will get a more intense stretch on your left side. So the glutes and the outer hips. So just listen to yourself, whatever is more intense. If you need to, prop yourself up on a little cushion here. What's important is that you have your hips facing the front of the mat, so you're not falling to one side. And we're going to extend, lie down on the mat. So extend your arms out in front of you or make a little cushion with your hand and bring your forehead on top. And breathe into that stretch. It can be quite intense. So really send that exhale to that area. And imagine you're just really releasing those tensions with the exhale, with the fresh oxygen that's getting there. Make sure you're not clenching with your jaw also. Sometimes when the posture is intense, we kind of clench our jaws. So really release that jaw. Wonderful. And come back up. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Bring your chest up. Come into downward facing dog. So tuck your back toes in and push up into downward facing dog. And we're going to transition to the other side. So with an inhale, bring your right foot to the front of the mat and come into a low lunge on the other side. So back leg is to the ground. And as you exhale, release your hips down and to the front. Maintain your chest nice and open. You can bring your hands or to your knee or up to the sky if you want it to a little bit more intense. But if you need that support, bring your hands down. More intense doesn't necessarily mean good. It's better that you have a good posture than making it more intense. And you're going to bring your right hand down to the ground. It can be on your fingertips. And reach up with your left hand up towards the sky and wrap your arm around your head. And look under your armpits. So this is a little variation that I find really efficient to really get that nice stretch in your left side. If it's too much, you can just leave your arm up towards the sky. Depends on you, how you feel. Wonderful. And come back to center and bring both hands down to the ground. And bring your right knee to the ground, and we're going to come into a plank on the other side. So your right hand comes down to the ground and open up to the side. So reach up with your left hand up towards the sky. You can stay here. This is a plank variation. So you're still working on the abdominals here. Otherwise, you can go into the full posture and bring both feet out, stacked one under the other. Remember, your shoulders should be over your wrist. And really press into the ground, reach up. Don't let your hips fall down towards the ground. So reach them up, and your core should be working strong here. If you want to work on balance, you can look up to your hand. Don't forget to breathe. Three more breaths here. Holding tight. And last one, come back into a plank. And release your knees down to the ground. Take a quick child's pose here. So bring your hips down onto your feet, your heels, and extend your arms out in front of you. Really stretch out and your forehead comes to the ground. Wonderful. Come back up. And we're going to extend our left leg out in front of us. And your hips are over the back knee. So really bring that heel out in front of you. And we're going to forward fold onto that leg. So if you're not able to really fold over, you can stay up tall like this. Use your fingers to prop yourself up. You can use always something on the sides if you have books or something. Otherwise, just with exhale, you're folding forward and you're trying to bring your left hip back and your right to the front. So you're really hinging from the hips. And remember always to go deeper with the exhale. And you'll see it comes easier if you breathe into it. So this is a very nice hamstring stretch. The whole back of the leg here, really stretching. So you're surrendering here into the posture and come back up. We're going to change to the other side. Bring that left leg in and extend the right one out. So if you're having a hard time really straightening that leg, that's fine. You can have a little bit of a bend in it. Micro bend. Inhale, reach forward with your chest, and exhale, fold onto your leg. Bring your hands forward. Wonderful. And come up. And we're going to do it into pigeon on the other side, which we didn't do yet. So this time, fold into your right leg. So same thing as I was explaining on the other side, have your hips facing the front of the mat. And if you have your foot coming out to the side perpendicular, it's going to be more intense. So just feel how it is for you. And fold forward onto that leg. Bring your forehead to the ground or on top of your hands, stacked one on top of the other. Wonderful. And we're going to come out of the posture. Bring your hands under your shoulders and bring your chest up. Come back into downward facing dog. So push into your hands. Your toes come curled in from the back foot. And from here, walk your feet forward. Just tiptoe those feet forward and come to standing. And we're going to come to a wide-legged forward bend. So open your legs nice and wide to the sides. And lightly bring your feet towards the inside. And to protect your knees, bring your kneecaps up. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Inhale, bring those hands down towards the ground and open the chest, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Trying to keep your back as straight as possible, and the weight is coming more onto the front part of your feet. Now, if it's too intense, you can release your hands and bring your hands to the ground and just stay like this. That's also an option. If you can go further, keep on going down and your hands come up and over your head. So try to have a nice line from the hips to your heels. And slowly release. If it's too much on your shoulders, you can bring your hands down to the ground. Try to have your arms parallel, not out to the sides like this. So it's quite intense on the back of the legs. Wonderful. Prop yourself up on your hands and bring your left hand next to your right foot and look up to the sky. So bring your arm up towards the sky. Have a little twist here. Try to have your hips still facing the ground. And come to the other side. Your right hand comes next to your left foot and twist on the left side. Come back to center. Bring your hands on your hips. Inhale, come back up slowly. Reverse. Wonderful. And bring your legs back together. And we're going to come lying on the mat. And we're going to take a cobra from here. So we're going to try variation for those who are not too used to cobra. And if it's too tight on your lower back, you can extend your hands out to the side, open up your fingers nice and wide. And from here, inhale and open up your chest. Press into your fingers and open the chest. Shoulders are nice and down. And it's as if you were pulling your fingers towards you. Your glutes are tight here, so the lower back is pressing into the ground. Wonderful. Exhale. Come down to the mat. Bring your cheek onto your hands to one side. Wonderful. And we're going to come into a Sphinx pose. So another type of heart opening, very efficient, subtle movement. So bring your elbows under your shoulders and your fingers spread out wide with your hands facing down towards the floor. And as you inhale, you're going to bring your hands down. Inhale and exhale. And try to bring your elbows towards your body. So like if you're pulling the ground towards you and your shoulders are going down, the rest of the spine is not working here. It's only the upper spine that's opening up. And release. So we're going to do that several times. Always with the exhale comes the movement. Inhale and exhale. Bring the ground towards you. Inhale, release. Exhale, bring the ground towards you. And another time, inhale, exhale, shift your elbows back. And release. And from here, we're going to let our head roll down. You should feel a nice stretch in your neck, so you can do circles with your head. Feel that nice stretch in your neck. Take it nice and slow. Don't want to be brutal with the neck. And to the other side, circles go the opposite way. Wonderful. Come back to center. And we're going to prop ourselves up and come to sitting. Then we're going to come into what's called Sarvangasana, which is a shoulder stand. So for those who have high blood pressure, or cervical issues with your neck, you don't have to come into the full posture. You can just lie down onto your back and bring your legs up towards the ceiling, so the feet are reaching up towards the ceiling. So you'll have this effect of the blood flowing down towards your head without being too intense on the neck. Otherwise, for those who don't have any problems with that, we're going to go into the full posture. So bring your feet back down to the ground, your legs are bent, and your hands are facing down towards the ground. And we're going to slowly bring our legs up towards the sky, and your entire back is slowly coming off the ground. Keep your head in the same position and press with your arms down on the ground. Don't make it brutal, so don't throw yourself up. Slowly bring your legs up towards the sky and bring your hands behind your back. So make sure you're not hurting your neck. And you're trying to bring your hips over your shoulders. So you're really supporting your back with your hands, and your legs are completely relaxed here. So you don't have to point your fingers. Really relax your feet, relax your legs, and breathe nice and deep so you can see your stomach coming up and down. Feel the blood rushing to your head. So we're getting some nice and fresh blood to the head, finding balance in the nervous system. This is a very relaxing posture. If at any point it gets too intense, you can come out of the posture. So you're trying to bring your hands down towards the upper back to get as much support as possible. And we're going to try to come a little bit further in the posture. So you're going to bring your right leg down behind you, and the left leg is still up towards the ceiling. And try to reach your toes to the ground. If you're not touching the ground, that's perfectly fine. Inhale, come back up. And once you're at the top, switch. So bring your left leg down behind you. Try to have the other leg nice and straight up towards the sky. Bring it back up, inhale, and we're going to try to bring both legs back behind us. So this is a little bit more intense, I'm aware of that, so please listen to your body. Don't hurt yourself. If you can bring your toes to the ground, that's wonderful. You can also open your legs wider to reach the ground. It's a little bit easier that way. And you can interlace your fingers, have your arms out extended against the ground, or still keep them behind your back. Try to have your back not rounding too much, so you're pushing into your feet. Wonderful. Bring your hands back on your back if it's not the case. And your hands come up towards the sky. And we're going to come out of the posture slowly. Bring your hands down to the ground and slowly roll back, unwind. Keep your head on the ground, so don't elevate it off the ground. And bring your legs down to the ground. Give yourself an instant in Shavasana here. Feel the effect of the posture, how the blood is rushing back down to your feet. This posture has a lot of benefits. And essentially it's very calming, working on the nervous system. Very good also for digestion, for the brain, as you're getting all that fresh blood to the brain. Wonderful. And we're going to do a little counter posture as we were bending intensely in one direction. We're coming into fish pose. So bring your legs back together and you're going to slide your hands under your bum. Your hands are facing the ground as far down as you can. So you're trying to hide your arms under your body. And you're going to use your elbows to reach up with your chest. So push into your elbows with an inhale. Open your chest and bring it up and release your head back. So you have a light pressure on your head, but mainly the weight is in your elbows. Open up that chest nice and wide and really breathe as fully as possible into your lungs also. Three more breaths. Push into your elbows. Breathe as fully as possible. Last inhale, bring your head in and your chest, your back down to the floor. Untuck your hands from under you and interlace your fingers behind your head. Well, this is wonderful. I love to do this. And bring your head off the ground and give yourself a nice neck stretch. So bring your chin towards your chest. And then go from one side to the other. So right to left, nice neck stretch. Wonderful. And release that head down to the ground. Bring both legs into your chest and rock a little bit side to side. Give yourself a nice back massage. You can also hold your knees in between your hands and make circles with your knees so you can feel that massage into the ground, even lower in your back. You can close your eyes here, no problem. Wonderful. And we're going to come into a little twist. So extend your legs out and bend your right leg into your chest. Interlace your hands behind the knee and press it into your stomach. And extend your right arm out to the ground with the palm facing the ground. And bring your right knee towards your left side with your hand. Slowly bring it over towards the floor. And look over to your right hand. So don't force your knee down to the ground. Just go down with the exhale and let gravity do the work. Gradually, you're going to go slower to the closer to the floor. And your right shoulder should be rather close to the ground. Try not to really let yourself fall to one side. So you're having these opposing forces stretching you to either side. Also release your neck here, so let your head fall to one side. Wonderful. Breathe nice and deep. With the next inhale, come back to center with that leg still bent. And extend it out. Bend the left knee into your chest, interlace the fingers, and hug that knee into your stomach. And this time, extend your left arm out to the ground and bring that right knee to your right side. Nice and slow. And look over to your left side. And relax here into the posture. Great. And come back to center. Inhale. Bring that leg back to center, still bent. And extend it out to the ground. And we're just going to take a little happy baby to finish off with a nice and joyful posture. So bend your legs and have your feet facing up. Flex your feet and have them facing up towards the ceiling. And take the outsides of your feet. Grab them with your hands. Your back is entirely on the ground, so don't lift your bum off the ground. And press your feet down towards the ground, like if you're trying to reach your knees closer to the ground. If you'd like to, you can always rock side to side. It's also very nice. Wonderful. And release your feet. Extend them out to the ground. And we're going to come into Shavasana. So open up your legs nice and wide to the sides. And find stillness. Find yourself a comfortable posture. Roll your head from side to side a few times, just to make sure your neck is nice and released. Wonderful. Come back to center. Close your eyes and we're gonna rub our hands together. So bring your hands together and try to create heat in between your hands. So start rubbing, creating this friction, this fire in between your hands. You can feel that heat in your palms. And put your palms onto your eyelids. So feel that heat onto your eyelids, on your forehead. And come into that moment of peace. Going inside of yourself. And we're going to do that another time. So rub your hands together another time, creating that heat. And bring your palms onto your eyelids again. And really release. Release to the silence, the stillness, surrender to the posture, to the gravity. Rub your hands around your face. Just imagine you're wiping off anything that's left of tensions. Rub your neck. So give yourself a little neck massage here. Your shoulders a little bit. Just massage lightly. Wonderful. You can even rub your ears lightly. And then still keep your eyes closed and bring your hands down to the ground, palms facing up towards the ceiling. And take an instant here to go over your body. How do you feel now compared to the beginning of the session? Does your body feel heavy in the ground? Do you feel like you're floating off the ground? Let your muscles completely release. Nothing is moving, just your breath going in and out. How are you breathing now compared to the beginning of the session? Are you breathing freely? Your breath is always something you can use to measure your feelings and how nervous you are. And just imagine that you can see yourself from above. You're just floating above yourself and you see yourself lying on the ground. And imagine that you have a big bright smile on your face. You don't have a single worry in the world at this present moment. And take it all in for a little bit more here. You can stay here as long as you need and as you feel like. And otherwise, we're going to come back to your body with a big inhale. And then you can take a nice stretch out. Roll over to one side when you're ready. Keep your eyes closed. And you can join me back into sitting. So sit back, cross-legged. Keep your eyes closed and bring your hands in prayer. And we're going to finish off with 3 ohms, chanting together. So take a big inhale. Inhale again. And last time. Namaste. Thank you everyone for joining the session today. I hope you enjoyed the class, and feel free to let me know in the comments what you enjoyed. Also feel free to like the video and subscribe to the channel if it's not the case. Thank you very much again, and I will see you soon for the next class. Have a great day, everyone.